This is the pre-lab video for the periodic trends lab. For this lab you'll need the sodium metal. It's stored in oil in the fume hood, so you'll be required to transfer a small amount to a petri dish, observe its physical characteristics, and cut up little pieces with the knife, the tweezers, and the little poker. The magnesium is stored as strips, and so you'll be required to take physical observations of the magnesium metal as well, and also of the calcium metal, which is shown here for you. So along with the sodium, the magnesium, and the calcium, you'll need a test tube rack with various test tubes, glass dishes, an evaporating dish, red and blue litmus paper, universal pH paper, matches, some wood splints, a pair of scissors, and some steel wool. Periodic trends video, we're going to show and demonstrate part B for calcium. Here's our lab data sheet for periodic trends calcium. So the first B1 asks us to observe the physical properties or physical characteristics of calcium. So there's the calcium metal, and we can describe its characteristics on our lab data sheet. So we can give a physical description of the calcium metal. It's a metal solid with a gray color. A pair of tweezers. We can look at its hardness and its brittleness. And when we scrape it, we can see a nice shiny metal surface underneath. Observation involves filling an evaporating dish half full with distilled water, and then taking a large test tube and filling it with water. Like so. Then you place your thumb over the test tube, invert, into the evaporating dish, take a small piece of calcium, and now you're going to dump it into the evaporating dish and trap it. So let's do that. And now you can see the metal reacting with the water, forming a white milky precipitate, as well as gas being produced as the volume inside the test tube of water is decreased and the airspace is increased. So during this process, you want to note any observations on your lab data sheet. And make sure to notice any observations of the evaporating dish and test tube at the end of the reaction. You'll then test the pH of the solution using the red and the blue litmus paper and the universal pH paper in the following way. And note the color change on the red litmus paper, the color change on the blue litmus paper, and also the appearance of the solution in the pipette. Then test the pH using the universal pH paper in the following way. The pH of the solution in the evaporating dish using the wide range pH paper by inserting it in for a few seconds, bringing it out, and looking at the color. And so you can compare the pH of the solution with that of the wide range pH paper. So record those observations on your lab data sheet. And so here's a summary of the results on the red, the blue, and the universal pH paper, and the comparison of the universal pH paper to the pH scale on the packaging container. For the flaming splint, part of the experiment, repeat with a smaller amount of calcium so that you have a smaller volume of gas, and then you're going to light the match, light the splint, quickly remove the water, invert the tube, and stick the splint in. Record your observations on your lab data sheet. So note your observations on your lab data sheet. That ends the periodic trends pre-lab video involving sodium metal, magnesium metal, and the calcium metal.